Hello, this is Puppers Corner, episode 4. We're talking about allergies. If you have allergies and you have dogs, and you're allergic to dogs, what to do, kind of how to manage that. And I'm here with Samantha. How's it going?
Good.
Okay. And so this week's been kind of crazy. I guess I could start with that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So last Thursday, this is Wednesday, we're recording on Wednesday. So last Thursday, for a while, we've been just mulling the idea of a puppy. And we have a 12-year-old, and it was going to kind of be his dog. And so it's cold, rainy, pouring rain. So we drive about an hour away from our house to look at puppies. So Samantha, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Have you ever went and looked at puppies and not left with a puppy?
Never.
Okay. Me either. So anyway, we get there and there's 6 big old puppies romping around this living room. Can you imagine?
I imagine it's super cute.
Oh my gosh. Just a ball of fur flying everywhere. So we ended up leaving with 2 puppies. So it has been a fun week, but not as much sleep as you would like. So that is what happened since our last podcast. But anyway, let's move on to allergies, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's no fun having allergies in 2 dogs when you love dogs. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. It's estimated that around 15% of the population has allergies to dogs.
That's interesting.
And basically the advice that people are given if they go to the doctor is get rid of the dog.
Which is depressing.
That's not an option in my house.
No, that's your baby.
So, and it says in the article I read that 4 out of 5 people don't just choose to, I guess, suffer with the allergies. So that's what I would do if I had allergies.
Yeah, me too.
So let's get into a little bit about what causes the allergies. And it's in some of the reading I've done, it's interesting that it's not the dog hair itself. So, that's what I had that misconception before.
I always thought it was either like the dander from their skin or their hair.
That's part of it is the dander. Like their skin flakes off and it settles on the carpet and on basically anything that's cloth. And then you breathe it in. If you have allergens, if that's an allergen for you, you get allergies. So also their saliva, it dries. So like if they're, I guess, playing with a chew toy or something and then that gets on stuff and it dries and then it just dissipates into the air, I guess. And so you can be allergic to their saliva as well. It's
weird. So if a dog licks all over you, that's their saliva.
Yeah, but I think the article I read is like it dried saliva. Now maybe...
if it dries on your face, I don't go wiping off my puppy's kisses.
No.
I just don't. I'm weird, I guess. I don't know.
No, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
Yeah, okay.
Depends on how much saliva there is.
Yeah.
Jackson's tongue is about 3 foot long, seems like, and he licks you. You've known it.
You got a bath.
So let's talk a little bit about what to do if you do have allergies. And a lot of this information I got from Dr. Karen Becker. I use her is kind of a go-to source. She's at healthypetsmercola.com, and some of the ideas she has is have a room where the dogs are not allowed in. So, that's usually like your bedroom, and so that can't get anything in there. No saliva, no dander, no nothing.
Okay, so I guess you could sleep peacefully.
Yeah, and then just have one room where you're not suffering, I guess.
Okay.
Have a pet-free area, we talked about. Remove as many of the carpets and cloth furniture as you can. So, do you have cloth furniture at your house?
Nope, I have leather furniture and I have hard floors.
Same here. So, that's part of it. It's just easier to clean when you have a pet.
It is. Pets and children.
Carpets don't get along with dogs, in my experience.
And when they run, they dig their nails in and it tears the carpet up.
I got to tell you about the beagle puppies. Like one of the first thing they did is they start scratching at like the corner of the carpets, and then picking it up and biting it and pulling it up, like pulling the carpet up.
They're like, what is this?
Boogers. So they also talk about vacuuming and wiping down surfaces very often, at least once a week.
Okay.
And that would get old, wouldn't it?
Well, if you have a hairy dog, I mean, because Daisy's a border collie, I sweep at least once a week.
Oh,
I sweep
we do
a
too.
lot. So
yeah, we do too.
And her hair flies, so yeah, I kind of already do that.
Yeah, that's true. But and we have 2 labs, and they shed. Even in the winter, they shed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad news. So.
But it's worth it.
And they talked about use a vacuum that uses water filtration, and what I mean by that is there's no dust from the vacuuming process itself. So I know one brand name is Rainbow Vacuums.
Fancy.
So, the water collects and the dust is trapped in the water, and then you have to dump the water out, obviously.
So it's like a vacuum.
It's a regular vacuum cleaner, sucks up
but like
dry.
a carpet shampooer.
No, it doesn't. The water doesn't go out on the carpet
at all. Okay.
It stays in the little filter thing in the vacuum itself. And so then as you vacuum, that dirt gets trapped in there so it doesn't create all the dust.
That's pretty cool.
So
okay.
And then this is probably more important than all the stuff we just talked, kind of some of the things you can do is making sure you and your dog are as healthy as possible. Because there's a couple of things I didn't even think about. If your dog eats really bad food, it tend to have more allergens in their saliva than if they don't.
That makes sense.
So for you, this is, again, most of this is from Dr. Becker, is have a better diet, probiotics, and this is from me, but this wasn't in the article, but chiropractic care in many instances can have a profound effect on allergies. So if you suffer with allergies, I suggest finding a chiropractor near you.
That helped you? Definitely.
That was one of I had allergies, not really to dogs, but pretty much everything else. And it made a world of difference in my life. So.
Yep.
Avoid or limit use of antibacterial soaps. So, we're like a clean freak society, I guess. And you're not, and the theory is is that if you're not exposed to germs and dirt and all that stuff as a younger age, your immune system doesn't get a chance to develop fully, and then so you're more susceptible to allergies.
So what you're saying is if you have a higher immune system, then you're less likely to get allergies?
Correct, because allergies are a hyperimmune response. Your immune system is fighting off things that aren't really a life-threatening thing. Okay. Or even a cause of an infection. So you're reacting to your environment in a basically your body's overreacting to the allergens it's exposed to. Okay. That's what allergies essentially are in a nutshell. So we talked about also for your dog, you can feed them an anti-inflammatory diet. So I'm assuming most commercial kibble has some level of fillers in it, and those are usually cause inflammation in the dog, and then that obviously gets into their saliva and it causes more allergens to be in that saliva. And then another thing I mentioned was essential fatty acids. So you want to make sure that the diet, even if you are feeding commercial kibble, to get some essential fatty acids, and that's organ meats, cold water fish, or cooked fish oil. And so those have got to be fed fresh because the oils go bad quickly. Okay. So that's kind of some of the research I've done this week on things you can do for yourself and for your dog. And they also, in the article, they talked about there's not really any true hypoallergenic dogs. That's interesting. They all produce dander. Obviously, they all have saliva. So there are some breeds that supposedly are allergy friendly. Let's put it that way. Okay. And we're going to look at some of those. So you're awful quiet over there, Samantha.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm letting you get some stuff out. Okay. Okay, so talking about how to boost our immune systems so that way we can fight allergies off or not get those allergies to dogs. I read a very interesting article that I would love to share with you guys. So the link will be in our blog.
Our show notes, yeah.
Yeah, show notes. Okay, so when a dog, they've done studies that show that when a dog is in your home as a child, that child has a higher chance of not becoming allergic because they're able to build the antibodies or what have you. But what's even more interesting is if you're in the womb and your mom has a pet dog, then you are actually even more likely to not develop allergies. Because what happens is the child will develop a higher level of gut microbes, and those protect you against allergies. So,
sweet. And I think we mentioned probiotics earlier for you to take to help with the allergies for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
So if your mom didn't have a dog when you were in the womb, or the whole time you were growing up, you didn't have pets because maybe your dad had allergies or something like that, there's still hope for you. You can take some probiotics and still get a furry friend. So that's kind of cool. I thought that was interesting.
Definitely.
And then I wanted to touch on when your dog shows signs of having allergies, because that's very common.
For sure it is. We'll probably have an episode devoted to that for sure. Yes,
because it's kind of a very large topic I found. So just a small tidbit is that they can have allergies from food, environment, different skin things. They can even be allergic to fleas, which is crazy because fleas love animals, so I don't know. But pretty much just something to watch out for is that they're just going to be itching all over or have GI symptoms.
That reminded me, another thing that I didn't mention, and I don't know why I didn't get in my notes, but they mentioned bathing at least once a week. If you have allergies, you can bathe the dog once a week.
Oh, that makes sense.
And just use a certified organic shampoo that doesn't have any chemicals in it, so that, obviously, and then that it's designed for dogs. So you can find that at any pet store. Yeah.
Interesting thing that I heard. Here's a tidbit that I just happened to hear on the news. Okay, so Petco is starting in May of next year. They are going to be switching all their foods to more organic, whole foods. All their dry foods and everything, they're going to go away from all the crap that they put in there.
Processed processed food.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so there's a movement going on out there.
Yeah, there is.
Cool.
And they're the first pet store to be doing this, apparently. So it's exciting. But anyways, also something kind of interesting to watch out for is like allergies to like bee stings and vaccination. So just a little thing to put out there. If you are going to vaccinate your dog, or if they get a bee sting, you want to watch them closely, at least for 24 hours, just because they can have an anaphylactic reaction, and if you're not home, that's not good.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So you don't want to do something.
So when you're scheduling vaccinations, or you for some reason you notice like say their snout swells up from a bee sting, you want to rearrange your schedule so you can monitor them.
Yeah, you want to stay with them.
That's good information.
Yep. So that's what I have about that.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've established that there's not any true hypoallergenic dogs, but there's the top 5 breeds that are allergy friendly. So we'll kind of go through those. Poodle is number 1 on the list, I've never been I don't know if it's the curly hair. I mean, I've always had short-haired dogs that require less grooming. I think that probably says more about me than. But I never really liked poodles and dogs that needed lots of grooming.
They remind me of a grandma, curly hair.
Yeah. So the poodle's number 1, and then there's the Yorkie is number 2 on the list. I don't mind Yorkies.
They're cute.
Yeah, definitely. They're little though.
Yeah, a friend of mine had one that hated me growing up.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
What's their temperament like?
I don't know. This one was very protective of her, and so we were best friends. We still are. But this dog, his name was Zach, and he, which is funny because that's your kid's name. Yeah. But anytime I'd try to touch him or anything, he'd snap at me, and if I'd go hug my friend, he'd growl and come at me. So he was feisty.
And then next is the miniature schnauzers.
Oh, so, they're cute.
Yeah, they are.
They're weird looking,
admit it.
But cute.
Yeah. And then Shih Tzu and Havanese, which they're kind of a cool looking dog. They got long, curly, kind of fluffy hair.
Looks kind of like a polar bear.
Yeah.
Are these all tiny dogs?
No, it looks like the Havanese is pretty good size. I've heard the name before, but I wasn't familiar with them.
Okay.
But they look like they're pretty good size. We'll find that out maybe one day if they're the breed of the week. But so that's our next step is the breed of the week. which this week's Border Collie, and we picked Labs last week because I have 2 Labs, and we picked Border Collies because
I have a Border Collie. Her name is Daisy, and she's fantastic.
Oh, by the way, Border Collies are those dogs on Babe, the movie.
Yeah, they are.
Cool.
Yeah, they are a herding breed,
Yes.
mostly used for herding sheep. They are on the popularity scale. They are number 38 out of 192. So, not that popular, but not that unpopular. I don't know. Their height is about 20 inches. They're a medium-sized dog. They can weigh anywhere from 30 to 55 pounds.
30, that seems small.
I thought so too, because Daisy's like...
I
thought she was like 60, but now that I'm reading this, I'm like, maybe she's not.
But her hair makes her look bigger than she actually is.
When she's wet, she looks kind of small.
Yeah.
I need to weigh her just to see.
When's the last time the vet doesn't weigh her? Or?
I don't really take her to the vet that often.
Yeah,
I don't vaccinate.
Good.
So, okay. They can live 10 to 17 years. So, that's cool. We thought that she was going to live for 18. So, learning that the average life expectancy is around 12 is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she has a double coat. Border Collies do. She does, but they all do. And it's thick and it sheds often. So there's lots of sweeping, vacuuming, lots of maintenance there. If she plays out and about, you got to kind of make sure, you brush them a lot.
Yeah, because you have to brush them. I was reading up on them that a couple times a week at least to keep the tangles out.
Yeah, because you don't want any matting because that's not good. And every now and then you can take them to the groomers if you want, but you don't have to. You can just keep certain areas trimmed with some scissors and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So
self-grooming.
Yeah, why not?
Homemade grooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's
why I pick dogs that don't need or very little grooming.
But you know what? I've never had a fluffy dog until I've had her, and I'm never going back.
Okay.
Never going back because they're so
the cuddle
snuggly.
times. Yeah.
Yes. She's the best dog I've ever had. She's highly intelligent. They're extremely energetic.
Yes.
Lots of energy. They're athletic. They're great in competing in dog sports. They're very successful in that. They are actually known as the most intelligent of all domestic dogs.
The most intelligent?
Mm-hmm, of all domestic dogs.
I call them like a human living in a dog's body because you can almost just talk to her. I've seen just say, "Hey, let's go get in the car,"
and she goes.
And it's like they normally dogs. Shouldn't know what you said, but it seems like she understands you.
Yeah, she doesn't do commands like sit and stuff like that. Doesn't work. But if I'm like, "Hey Daisy, you want to come sit down?" Then she comes and will sit down next to me. So she's a person in a dog's body. So if you're gonna get this kind of dog or you're thinking about it, consider the fact that you are gonna have to have a lot more physical time with your dog as well as mental. They need a lot of mental stimulation and activities.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're great for herding because that works out both. But they're getting more and more popular to just be snuggle bugs, and that's what Daisy is. Yeah. So you just have to make sure you keep them busy because they can get bored, and if they get bored, they might become a little destructive. They might start digging,
that's
or tearing things up. Which thankfully, Daisy's digging was easy to stop, and we just kind of upped the stuff we were doing, and no, she's fantastic.
It's not a dog where you leave it in the backyard by itself for 8 hours a day while you're at work.
No.
Yeah.
No. She can entertain herself pretty good, but not that good.
Yeah.
They have a very strong herding desire. Some pet owners don't like this.
What does that look like day to day as owning a Border Collie?
Okay, so what that looks like in my life is my toddler running around and Daisy just kind of let's go this way, and she just kind of
is herding your toddler.
It herds him around, but he doesn't really notice. He just thinks, "Oh, she's playing with me," and she's being playful, her tail's wagging, she's having a good time. She also does it with my cat. Cat doesn't like it as much, but it's pretty fun, and it's not aggressive. I've never seen it aggressive. I've never read about the herding becoming aggressive, but I know just some people don't like it when their dog has the herding mentality. And it can be trained out of them because they are extremely trainable. That is one of the hugest things that you read about.
That's what I read about, yeah.
Extremely
that they're
trainable.
Like superstars and all those agility competitions and all that stuff. They're like the superstars and usually win those if majority of the time.
Well, because they can listen so good. I mean, Daisy, she loves doing all kinds of stuff.
It says they're eager to please, so that combination of being smart and eager to please is like pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Border Collies are fantastic. Definitely the best dog breed out there, if you have my opinion. But yeah, and you can't if you want a Border Collie, really think about it before you
research
get one.
Them. Yeah, talk to someone who has one.
I feel like that goes along with almost any herding dog, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, yes, because I've had healers growing up there in that category as well, and they're definitely not for everyone.
Fun fact about Border Collies. Border Collies are the only dogs that are built with cat shoulders. Their shoulders are built like cats. They are, they can hunker down and run just as fast as if they were standing up normal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's all I got.
Oh, that's all we got this week. And yes.
At the end of our last podcast, we said that we were going to do a mini talk about what to do with your dog when people come over.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so the reason I brought that up was, we're talking about people with allergies this week. So last year, I think, I have 2 labs, and apparently they are not hypoallergenic. They are quite the opposite. Apparently one of the worst offenders. Had someone come over and had to be hospitalized after being at her house.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so I guess I just didn't know, what you thought, should I tell people that don't know that we have 2 dogs, well now 4 dogs in our house. So, or is it kind of the person who has severe allergies responsibility to ask? I mean, what's the protocol there? What do you think?
I feel like if you are going to welcome someone into your home, obviously you like them a little bit. Yeah. So they should know you have a dog.
Right. Well,
you know.
True.
So, or if they don't, then you're bringing them into your home. So maybe hey, just so you know, you can even say it oh, so excited to have you come over. Our puppies are so excited to see you. They love people. And then that would be oh, I'm definitely allergic. And then you could maybe know what to do after that.
So this kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't even think about saying anything. So
now I bet you'll say something.
Well, I had another. We went to a state park that has a dog-friendly state park. So we were in a cabin and we were. We got there early. It was a long weekend, and we got there at 3:00. So we did all our things. We went swimming, and we went on a hike, and it was about 6:00, and we were just chilling between cabins. There's a shared fire pit, and we were just kind of lounging in some chairs, and the dogs were laying right beside me on leashes, and the people next to us were moving in, for the weekend, and the guy comes up to me and says, "I want you to keep the." And she was mad at me. And I was taken aback. It's I want you to keep those dogs away from my kid. I'm okay. Well, she's definitely allergic. I'm people have some, I don't know, common courtesy. I mean, we were sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's a dog-friendly state park.
And they're on leashes.
But she could die if she gets around those dogs. I'm okay. Don't take it out on me because I have a dog.
Someone probably peed in her cornflakes that morning.
Something. Yeah, she was having a bad day.
Yeah, so...
Or she was stressed about it.
I feel like that's not
when
normal.
She saw the dogs, maybe I don't know. I certainly
maybe
don't know
there's a traumatic experience in the past and
maybe.
It brought up something.
And she certainly... I can't imagine what she's going through. So my kid had a life-threatening allergy.
Yeah.
That would not be fun.
No.
So... Anyway, so we kept away from them and everything was good. But nonetheless. So you think, if it's someone that isn't familiar and they're coming over, it might be nice to mention, hey.
Yeah.
You're walking into the zoo.
Yeah. Anytime someone new's coming over, I feel like I let them know I have a dog. But I don't really let new people come over.
Yeah.
Because I'm
you don't invite people over if they're not already friends, right?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, some of my friends act like they don't like my dog. And I'm like, I like my dog more than you. So, I mean...
There you go. They don't come over very often.
Nope, they don't. And when they do, I have to have conversations with them. I'm like, you be nice to her. You talk to her how you would talk to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we're signing off for the day. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at all the same place. Just search Puppers Corner. We'll talk to you next week where we will be talking about, so you're going to bring a puppy home. What to do. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.